Welcome to semi-final number 1 here in Portugal. It is the Nazare Challenge. There's your 6 athletes now in semi-final stage of competition. A great heat win for Joao de Macedo would have the Portuguese on their feet this morning. Damien Hobgood taking off on some big bombs, finds his way through as well. They're up against Christian Morello, Nick Lamb, Grant Baker and Trevor Carlson. This one is going to be a biggie. Keep you updated with our Tag Heuer timepiece, the official timekeeper of the Big Wave Tour. And it's an early penetration for Pedro Calado. We were just talking about the young Brazilian and how he has finaled twice in 2016. And you'll get his scorecard ticking early here. Baker looking for access here in semi-final number 1. And look at this thing, it's Nick Lamb who's using that backhand again. He'll take the big drop on the wedge here in Nazare. And he'll get his scorecard ticking here. Welcome back himself into the mix. Look at this thing, Paul.
Yeah, here he goes on the replay and getting kind of lateral there. Didn't drop straight down. He got a nice angle and kind of projected down the line with that one. So just wonder how that will affect in terms of like criticality.
Well, looking at Joao de Macedo on a big nugget. Didn't get access to it. You're talking about the wind there, Paul. Look on screen how much the recovery here of an athlete. And this is why they were shouting, Paul.
Yeah, here goes Aaron Gold, just kind of fading into the bowl here. A little bit of white water up the face for him. And the initial part of the wave was kind of soft, and then he got a whole bunch of chop, and that was really awkward. That looked uncomfortable, and then he goes down, and then this thing just throws super hard. So yeah, he was kind of off balance there for a while. Almost wanted to go down a bit earlier. He kind of stayed on his board.
Wedging movement, and it can play into it as we see penetration here. Nick Lamb will find now a right-hander. He's already been left for a score. Now picks up there. You see that with that increasing side drift.
Lamb here. Sorry, we're looking at Twiggy. That's Twiggy there with a wipe out from the takeoff, and that's nasty.
Is he in contention for the wipeout award right there? Grant Twig Baker goes down the face. This is a successful one for Nick Lamb, though.
Yeah, let's stick with Nick Lamb's wave here. Kind of a slightly softer wave here, and he knew that. As soon as he kind of hit the bottom, he realised that
little yellow rope that's hanging off the ski as well. That's a really important part of recovery. And what about this? This is Joao de Macedo. Beautiful line from him in the bowl here. Did he survive that explosion? No, he didn't. He did get decimated by it. For 16 minutes to go now on our Tag Heuer timepiece. Let's have a re-look at this from the Portuguese surfer.
Yeah, goes Joao in nice and early, and he just kind of a measured approach to the drop, and then just eases onto that inside rail, and got a little bit too close for the critical section, and just went down there, but certainly would have scored some points on his entry, and nice execution off the bottom here, Gigs.
Can't help thinking that he just delayed that turn just a touch, right? I think he needed to get that inside rail in a second earlier. Nonetheless, Joao de Macedo to his feet, and judges have thrown a score of a 6.33. So that then gets doubled. 12.66 now appears on the scoreline for this man.
Kind of wait inside for an opening and basically kind of zigzag your way through. Let's go with live action.
Oh, Nick Lamb finds another drop on the wedgie right. But you can see there's a lot of current, and that was a real wedge. Just stood up and then faded.
Time to kick out, but good commitment on the drop. He had a bit to do there. Got a little bit hung up as well, the offshore wind. You just saw him getting a little bit hung up before he committed, and some nice speed down the face, but unfortunately from his point of view, no real kind of second bowl section on that one.
So judges will throw now a 3.83 at Nick Lamb's last ride, and that will add to his scoreline. So Nick Lamb will now lead. There, I think Nick could probably even call it a day with that. I mean, he would have got beaten on that. Here we go, Aaron Gold looking to penetrate. A little bit of personal watercraft wake there. It is a beach break. So obviously a ski was looking to recover and had to move out the way. Aaron Gold using this right-hander. And he'll just track it all the way through. Previous to this, just a 2.33 doubled for a 4.66 for Aaron Gold. But smart move there. Aaron's competing here. 7.5 to go. And now big penetration again. This is the Brazilian. Young Pedro Calado. The youngest competitor here at 20 years of age. Now here's some interest being shown again. Pedro Calado has swung around on another peak, so back-to-back waves being ridden literally within minutes of each other for the young Brazilian. Look at this.
Yeah, here he goes. He had to deal with the track of that personal watercraft, and he did it well. And it looked like maybe the lip just got the better of him, didn't it? He just couldn't quite get out in front. It will be interesting to see how that goes score-wise.
So now we're bringing you the replays of Aaron Gold here, Paul. This was earlier on. Aaron rode this wave all the way through. Needed this one as a second counting ride.
Yeah, he did quite a lot of surfing on it. I mean, he went a long way, but it was really, I guess he was maybe like looking for something. As you said, he knew there, well, he may not have known, but there are other surfers with not a whole lot of waves or points on the board, so just looking to see what he could get going, but a little bit of a road to nowhere. Got himself out of the danger zone at least. And this was the Brazilian who started off with a bang early on, waited about 38 minutes to catch this wave, and then that proved kind of as a bit of a setup for us.
Heat recap here as we're down to 4.5 minutes to go in semi-final number 1. The young Brazilian here now out front taking the lead. Pedro Calado has nailed some scores, but it's been a nice tight run for the heat win here against Nick Lamb.
Yeah, Nick Lamb, he's looked like he's just ready for opportunities. You know, he's kind of scrapped around a little bit. He's pulled into that beast as well. Let's see if we can get that. But here goes Nick Lamb just fading off the bottom. And he has stayed kind of busy. It's a relative term for this one, but he's done well. He's surfed well. He's looking good value. Joao
de Macedo, the Portuguese surfer, earning a 6.33 with the commitment on this big left bowl. Came around the corner, but didn't get the run through the inside. If he'd found that line, he would be in the higher numbers. And then, well, Nick Lamb's had a good run here. He's caught the most waves as well, Paul. He's caught 5 rides. This was a monster commitment for a 617.
Look at that thing. If you'd like to give points for an unmade wave, that would be it right there. And here goes Aaron Gold, of course, XXL winner. And here he is, kind of a softer in-betweeny wave here for Aaron, just looking to get something going. And as we count down on this recap in 4th place.
Yep, so I was just going to mention that a softer wave for Aaron, a 367 from the panel. And this drop here is an 8-point ride, and the lead belongs to this man, Pedro Calado. Nick Lamb lying second, so Calado, that man there, in green with 3 minutes to go, is out front in semi-final number 1 here. And look at this penetration! Wow! That was Joao de Macedo, wave number 2. Well, I told you he'd be competing. 45 seconds to go. Grant Baker will access this big right-hand wave. And, well, he won't want to float that section. Big bowl moves towards him. But Grant Baker gets commitment on the drop. And we're going to keep a very close eye on the numbers from the panel. 30 seconds to go. See what kind of number comes. What are you making of this, Paul?
Yeah, nicely done. You said he'd be definitely looking for another opportunity, and he did get one. And he just steers around onto this bottom turn section. He's got a big left-hander coming towards him, steaming towards him. He just negotiates that kick out.
Well, the twig avoiding the squeeze there, Paul.
Yeah, he needed a score, didn't he?
He's going to get a 4, which multiplies to an 8, and it's bumped him up to 4th position. Because Joao de Macedo, even though he wobbled down the face, was a 217, and that was only his 2nd counting ride. So Macedo, the Portuguese surfer, was needing a 2nd score. So tight competing here in the big wave arena, and it's going to be an official result. Pedro Calado, the Brazilian on screen, has taken the win. Nick Lamb will find 2nd, and well, it will be the Portuguese surfer 3rd. Grant Baker climbed up to 4th, but not enough to advance into the finals here in Portugal. Take a break, and we'll be back for more for semi-final number 2.